Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and on drboycetv.com, we believe that our goal is to be Black and intelligent and strong and powerful and successful, and that is what we're going to do with our children. So I want to say hello to everybody, and for those of you that are going to join us for the morning class that starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, I just decided to hop in here a little bit early and hang out with you guys some. I am going to still show up for our 10 a.m. Economic elevation training, which everybody can join. If you text the word morning to the number 87948, I'll send you an invitation. So text the word morning to 87948. We call it Money in the Morning, and that's where we learn about our economics every single day. Because our people, if we don't have Black wealth, we will never have Black power. Also, if we don't have Black families, we will not have Black power. So these are the things we believe. I believe that Black people should be healthy, wealthy, and strong. I believe we should have good physical and mental health. I believe that we should educate ourselves and our children. I also believe that we should have better relationships with each other. And I also believe that we should get our wealth right. While my PhD is in finance, I'd love to help you in that regard. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a quick yes to let me know you can hear me okay. I want to ask y'all a quick question. Also let me know, did y'all hear about Marvin Sapp? Marvin Sapp, who's a guy that I honestly don't follow Marvin Sapp. I have nothing against Marvin Sapp. But there was a really interesting video that was sent to me by several people where Marvin Sapp was in there. The pastors are real good at getting that money. And he was he said something that was really kind of shocking to a lot of people, or just surprising. He told the ushers to shut the doors while he was asking for the money. And a lot of people felt that that was unnecessary pressure that he was putting on people. I think since then he's kind of come out and apologized and stuff like that. And I think that grace. I give him grace. I say, okay, you made a mistake. You admitted to it. No drama there. But there is something to bring up here in terms of raising money and just the business of the church, right? Just kind of just churchonomics. And I want to say this real quick. My daddy's a pastor. My mama might as well have been one. And so I ain't got nothing against the Black church, but I'm a little bit of a heathen. I don't go to church. I have a great relationship with God, but I don't find my relationship with the church. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, because I don't know if all churches are really doing the job that they need to do in terms of helping us really learn how to be free. I think church can be used to liberate a God. The path to God through your pastor can either liberate you or enslave you. And church was used a lot for slavery, but there's no disrespect to all the thousands of Black churches out there, because there's actually students in the Black business school like James Wilson who actually said that they're teaching stock options to the members of their church. So they're all doing better financially because they're learning investing together. So again, I think that it's real clear. Before I show this video, I want to get an agreement among all of us. Can we at least agree that all Black churches are not alike? And can we at least agree that we can have a conversation without vilifying every church or vilifying every pastor? There's a lot of good churches and good pastors out here, and I think it's important for us to acknowledge that. In fact, I'm going to go give a speech this week in Louisville, Kentucky, with a great Black church and a great pastor named Dr. Kevin Cosby, who's an old friend of mine, and I have a lot of respect for the guy. I know he ain't perfect, but I respect what he's trying to do. So give me a yes if we can at least have intelligent, balanced, open-minded conversations about this and not get into the whole like, that's why I don't go to church. These bootlegged pastors, they be out here lying and stealing, and they all pimps in the pulpit. Now we know we got pimps in the pulpit. Now they ain't all saints. We know that, because some of y'all church folk be acting extra ratchet, but we got to acknowledge that there's diversity. So let's get that out the way. Let me play this video with Marvin, and I want to get your take on this. Give me like a 1-sentence description in the chat on how this video makes you feel, what you're thinking when you watch this. We're gonna watch a big chunk of it, not the whole thing, but we'll watch enough to kind of know what's going on. So here's a video
that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed. I just think $20 is a lot of money. $20, believe it or not, when my late wife Melinda P. Sapp was alive, was a good date. I could take her to the movies, buy a box of popcorn, get 1 soda, 2 straws. I wasn't cheap, that's swag. I was looking in her eyes, she's looking in mine. Can't do that no more. Now everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. I got you. Let's see. So put your 20 away, preachers. That 20 wasn't for you. And this is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly, I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000 people moving. Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. This ain't the time to talk. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints.
Okay. All right. So give me a 1-sentence feedback on what you think about what Pastor Sapp did. I never knew, honestly. I tell you how ignorant I am. I didn't know if he was a pastor or a singer. I guess he was both. I keep hearing people talk about "Never Should Have Made It." Apparently, that's a famous song. I heard it probably once or twice or something. But I told you I'm a heathen. I don't go to church, but I do believe in God. I don't think God is always in the church, to be honest with you. Okay, so he said all pimps are taking notes. Tiffany Anderson says kidnapped. Let's see. Tamika says he was raising money for some charity. Okay, that's good context. I mean, that's good information. If he's raising money for charity, I think that does affect things. I think that's different from raising money for his Bentley payments or something like that. Crowdfunding with the Bible and emotionally pressuring them. Okay. Mistake. Someone says $20 for what? That's a good point. That's a shame. I didn't know he was a pastor. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, and really sometimes the pastors want to sound like the rappers, but then you get pastors that get, into the politics. And I just kind of think you should stick to your black job. If your black job is serving God and helping people get to heaven, that's your job, man. I don't need you to tell me to go vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. I need you to tell me how to get to God and be a steward in that regard. I think sometimes pastors, pastors are the original rappers to some extent, in the sense that they were social media influencers before social media. Dr. Claude Anderson, who I'm gonna play a clip from Dr. Anderson in a minute. Dr. Anderson used to explain very clearly in his books like Powernomics and Black Labor, White Wealth, which you should all read, powernomics.com. That's his website. He basically says that the pastor was used by the white man to control black people. And so if you fast forward that, the rich white folks who run politics go straight to the pastors when they want to get black people to take on a certain idea or certain message, also, which is very dangerous. And the rappers are kind of the street pastors to some extent. They also are the social media influencers without using social media per se, who basically can control black thinking, right? So you got to be really careful about, what I call maybe these propped up Negroes that are put in position to control the masses. I think you should control yourself. I think you are your own greatest black leader. But this is not me speaking on Marvin Sapp. I don't know this man. I don't even know why he was raising the money. I think that's really important. I think that the why matters as much as the what and the how. And I think it's really important to consider that. Now, obviously, the big mistake, the part that went viral, the mistake that he made was when he said close the doors. That clearly was a problem. And I think he acknowledged that immediately. He immediately said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. I meant to do it, but it wasn't my intention, I think that his apology could be accepted. I don't know his track record, but I think that's obvious. Now, what goes deeper into that is that there are some who feel that it was inappropriate for him to ask for the money because pastors ask for a lot of money. Then there are some who feel it was inappropriate for him to pressure people into giving the money, which I do agree with that. I think that if you wanted to walk away, you should have been allowed to walk away. But here's something I'm going to say. Here's something I'm going to lay out here. And I'm going to ask y'all a couple of yes or no questions to kind of set the stage for what I want to bring up. I say this as a person who does not go to church. I don't go to church, but I respect the church. When the church does what it's supposed to do, when the church is churching, I have the utmost respect for that. Let me ask y'all a question. When someone runs your church, first of all, how many of you go to church? Give me a yes if you go to church at least, let's say, one Sunday a month. Maybe some of y'all just show up on Christmas and Easter. How many of y'all have been to church maybe in the last 6 weeks? Give me a yes if you've been to church. Or maybe how many of you have a pastor that you lean toward that gives you guidance, spiritual guidance, leadership, something that adds value to your life? Okay, I see a lot of yeses. I see some other fellow heathens up in here. That's okay. It's all right. No judgment either way. I don't care if you go to church or not. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't care if you're gay or straight, old or young, male or female. I think we have diversity, and I think it's okay to have that. Okay, so if you go to church, well, why do people go to church? Well, a lot of times people go to church, from what I've gathered, is there's a spiritual renewal that happens when you go there, right? Being black is hard. You're stressed out. You got money problems. That's one of the reasons why I really encourage financial literacy, because a lot of our problems stem from money. The white man controls all the money. He uses that money to control you, and then you're stressed out about that, which is why financial literacy should be a mandate amongst all of our people. Maybe you're having relationship problems, which is, again, why we should study healthy relationships. My wife is a relationship therapist, and I don't know why people don't listen to individuals who can help you with those issues. We just try to wing it. But the pastor gives you the ability to make it through the week. I think that's a valuable skill. I think that's a valuable contribution to your quality of life. Now, here's what I'm saying. Here's where I'm going with that. If you are going to church and you're getting some value from your pastor, why do we also simultaneously think it's highly inappropriate for the pastor to ask for some sort of compensation for doing a good job? Let me ask y'all this question. If I run a church, is the light bill free because I run a church? Yes or no? If I run a church, does that mean that I get a building rent free, that I get to just, that there's no mortgage? If I run a church, does that mean that there's no expenses that come with running that church? Whatever it is, if I feed the community, does that mean that the food was free? Sometimes, but most of the time not. And I only bring this up because I think sometimes we want our institutions to exist, but we don't want to fund our institutions. See, white folks fund their institutions that they want to see exist. Jewish people fund the synagogue. They make sure the synagogue has what it needs to do what it's going to do. Now, I'm not saying you should do this if you don't go to church. If you don't go to church and you get no value or spiritual upliftment from the pastor, then I think you're exempt from that. I don't really give. When I give, he said giving is worship. And I do believe that. I believe giving is a connection to God. I give constantly to lots of people, but I don't go to a church and give unless I'm in the church. If I'm in the church and the pastor says something to me that makes my life a little better in that moment, gives me a new perspective, gives me some motivation I need to get through the week, then I'll be damned if I'm not going to pull out a couple of dollars and put some money in the collection plate. Why is that inappropriate for him to say, hey, this is your chance to give back to the thing that's giving to you? What's wrong with that? And I only say that because a lot of y'all are in situations where you're serving people in your own family who are taking from you and expect to give nothing back. A lot of you have, I talked about this a lot in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. We have so many scenarios where people are like, gimme, gimme, gimme. But then when you say, hey, I need something too, I need something. Can you hook me? Can you help me out a little bit? Can you help me keep this thing going? People are like, why are you asking me for stuff? I thought you did it out of the goodness of your heart. Now you acting like I owe you something. Nah, you don't owe me nothing. But damn, man, I mean, I've given you a lot. I've helped you a lot. Can you help me help you? Can we help each other? Can we create some reciprocity up in here as opposed to having it be solely me being the giver and you being the taker? A lot of y'all have been in relationships like that, where you were a giver and the other person was a complete taker. You've been in emotional relationships like that. You've been in financial relationships like that. Now, again, I'm not saying this necessarily automatically applies to Marvin Sapp. I think it's complex, right? He's a wealthy man, I'm sure. $40,000 is not a lot of money for people like him, I imagine. I think that there might have been more appropriate ways to ask for the money, but I don't think there's anything wrong with us supporting the people who support us. Now, if they do nothing for you, then don't give them nothing. But if they're doing something for you, then it seems to me that you would turn and say, okay, how can I make sure that you stay good? Because check this out. Pay attention now, Black people. This is really important to understand. I'm not even a preacher. I don't go to church, but I have to say this. It's so interesting to me that Black folks will go to a comedy club and fully understand why they got to pay $50 or even $100 or more to buy drinks and tickets to go see a comedian. Some Negro gets up there and makes you laugh, and you don't have a problem with the fact that there was a cost of admission. We will go to a club and we will pay money to get into the club. We will go to a white man's business and gladly pay him for the service he's providing. But for some reason, when your pastor, who literally keeps you from jumping off a building because your life is so stressful, when your pastor, who's coming through for you, through thick and thin, when he asks for a little help, you're like, I shouldn't have to give you anything. I don't agree with that. I think that applies to anything that's contributing to your life. Even when the Black Panthers were around, I didn't understand. But again, this is me as a finance professor thinking about this and understanding how business models work. I said, why did the Black Panther have to do everything for free? Why did they have to have a free lunch program when they could have had a program that says, look, lunch is free if you ain't got it. But if you got something in your pocket, we'd like a piece of that so we can keep this thing going. Because think about this, you would have people that would go get the free lunch from the Black men and women with the shotguns protecting the community. You'll go get the free breakfast from them. I said free lunch. I meant to say free breakfast. You'll go get the free breakfast from them, but then go take your $5 and go down to the liquor store with that. No, you're not. You're not going to go and take the free product from the Black organization and then go spend $5 at the liquor store. Hell no. We're going to call you out for that. Accountability is going to be in the building for that. And so what I really want to kind of do is have a full conversation about the Marvin Sapp thing. I mean, there's the obvious, like, oh, there those preachers go again. And we know he made a mistake. He shouldn't have said shut the doors. You can't do that. That's like almost like kidnapping or something. Like, you can't make people stay in a place they don't want to be. But that's a lot. But still, the act of asking for money, I think that's what people were most offended by, was like the nerve of him to keep on asking for money like that. I don't think, here's my thing. I don't even think they should even have to push that hard. I mean, it was $20, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying $20 ain't $20, but I've seen Black folks spend $200 on Beyonce tickets. I'm talking about people struggling. I've seen people struggling spending, $100 on some more weed. I've seen people run up in the liquor store and drop a lot of money. I've seen guys spend over $100 trying to get their next baby mama, trying to take some girl out on a date. So it wasn't like he was asking for $2,000. He was asking for 20. And I guess people had the right to say no. It wasn't like he took it out of your pocket. And so I don't personally think there was much of anything wrong with that in particular. And I think there should be a deeper discussion and thought process about what we are doing. Are we supporting the institutions we believe in? Because here's the thing. I'm going to play a clip from Dr. Claude Anderson in a minute. because this ties into the context. If you want to know where I'm coming from with this, and you have a right to disagree with anything, I want to make that clear. But if you want to understand where I'm coming from with this, I think the clip from Dr. Anderson will help with that. Now, in the meantime, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and you're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My podcast is on Spotify, so if you go look up Boyce Watkins on Spotify, you will find me there. Also, every single day, we teach economics in a free class called Economic Elevation. If you want to join us for the Economic Elevation class, you can go to drboyceelevate.com, or you can also text the word morning to the number 87948. Text morning to 87948, and I will send you an invitation, because we're actually going to start. If you're watching live, we're going to start in 45 minutes, and I'll send you a link. I got some more good stuff we're going to talk about today. All right, so let me play this clip from Dr. Anderson. I talked to him yesterday, by the way. You know, I love this man. He's the greatest economic thinker of our time. He's the modern Marcus Garvey. He doesn't get recognized for that at the level that he should, but a lot of people have recognized him for that. And I think that over time his legacy will be even stronger. And I know a lot of you love him. So let me play something Dr. Anderson said about integration and how integration deteriorated a lot of your institutions. And one of the reasons I defend the Black church is because the Black church was one of the institutions in the Black community that wasn't destroyed. They destroyed your families. They took away your businesses. They took away your Black-owned schools. The only thing that didn't get destroyed was the church. So the church really actually has the capacity to help fill all those voids. The Black church is one of those places, when it's done properly, and thousands of churches are doing it the right way, they can help restore the family, because you lost your families. If you don't get your families back, you'll never get your wealth back. I hope y'all understand this. Give me a yes if we got it through our thick heads that if you don't have families in your community, you will never have wealth. Do you understand this? Do you understand this? That most people struggling in America, many of them are struggling by themselves. You do get this, right? That all the study, all the data, I'm a researcher on this. My doctorate's in this. I can tell you that not having a family, having a broken family full of trauma and chaos that comes with that, murders your ability to build wealth. You can't focus on the higher level things if you can't even get off the ground floor. See, some of us are operating in the basement because of so much horrible trauma we went through, because we didn't have a proper family structure, right? So broken people don't typically build a lot of wealth. Broken families don't build much wealth. So if you don't get your families back, you'll never get your wealth back. Those of you that are getting your families back, you will find that you'll have a better outcome than most other Black people. That's just a reality. I hate saying it like that, but that's the truth. The other piece to that, looks like my camera disconnected, but it's okay. I'm just going to do audio for a minute until I can figure this out. But the other piece to that is that when you're talking about look at that. Wow. Look at that. It opened up my other camera. Isn't that funny, right? So I'm looking over here. I didn't even tell it to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave that sucker on so y'all can just see me then. I don't know why it went back and forth. Y'all thought the picture of my wife was cute. So I should maybe I should leave that up because she's prettier than me. But anyway, the other thing about the Black church is the Black church has the ability not just to restore the family. The Black church has the ability to restore businesses. Black churches are a natural economic institution. Anytime you bring together people for a common purpose, and they can form their own economies, if they have just a little bit of training, you'd be amazed at what you can actually create if you are if you actually understand how to harness your economics. If you have a little bit of financial literacy and a little bit of planning, a little bit of training. There we go. I'm just gonna try this. There we go. There's my camera. I'm back now. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know. My team set my stuff up, and I'm figuring it out. But we gonna keep going. So the other thing too is the Black church can restore Black business as well. The Black church, if you read in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, I talk about the 3 C's of building an economy. And the 3 C's actually exist within the church. You can build your own economies. You ain't got to go just beg white folks to give you access to economic systems. You can develop them on your own if you know what you're doing. Also, you don't have to go around begging other people for a seat at the table. If you have your own system, the Black church is a place where tables can be built. Do you understand? Tables can be built. Because I'm sorry, I'm not trying to beg for a seat at your table. I want to do like Jesus and run up in there and flip your table over. I don't want to sit at the table. I want to kick the damn thing over, and I'm gonna go build my own table. So as a community, we got to get some table builders up in here. Stop begging. It's beneath you. That's not who you are. That's not who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be flipping over their tables and building your own. One or the other. So I've done both. When I was at Syracuse, I was flipping over tables. I was on the finance faculty. If I was him, I would have been happy to get rid of me because I was in there like, what are you? This is racist. What is this nonsense? You've done this for 100 years. You haven't hired a black person since the 1930s. This to hell with you. To hell with your table. I'm not going to try to sit at a table where you've been consistently disrespecting me. F you and your damn table. And then I walked away and said, let me go over here and build a table. Right? That's what you do. You got to see the God inside of you, the power inside of you, the God in you. To me, this is my interpretation. The God in you says that you can manifest. I mean, come on, man. If you're spending all that damn time in church, then why not tap into your capacity, your infinite capacity to be a spiritually powerful being? I really think we can do so much more than we give ourselves credit for, and we let other people make us think that we are less than. And I think that is the absolute crime of the century. And it ain't their fault; it's your fault. It ain't their fault for telling you that you ain't nothing. It's your fault for believing that you ain't nothing. Because you ain't gonna tell me I ain't nothing. I know I'm somebody. I know I can sit toe to toe with any white man on this planet, and know that I'm not inferior to anything. In fact, my dang screen done. This is and not only that, but the Wi-Fi is acting funny. I got to talk to my wife about that. All right, so let me go ahead and play this Dr. Anderson clip. I've been talking about it, so I should probably play it now. So here we go.
Because see, integration itself is countermanding any possibility of you ever acquiring power and wealth. You cannot empower yourself at the same time you integrate. Integration, Paul, means disintegration. It means reducing yourself to a micro speck. Because in a society where the majority will win and rule and the minority will lose and suffer, why would anybody want to integrate? Integration is making black folk a guest. Integration means I will make you a guest. I will make you a guest in something that's owned and controlled by other people. I'll make you a guest in white suburbs, in white schools, in white businesses, in white organizations, in a white government. See, black folk can never acquire wealth and power as long as they're integrating. And what's going to happen, though, with this whole concept of integration, it's going to hold blacks in abeyance until these other groups, competing groups, come in and wipe them out and push them into a subclass structure. It's because black folk see integration as being a social issue, and somehow they feel if they get closer to the white society, they're elevating their status, and they're not. They're disintegrating.
There we go. You heard it from the GOAT, Dr. Claude Anderson. I mean, by the way, his website is powernomics.com. I believe if you really want your kids to really understand how the world works, have them read Dr. Anderson's books. We've been reading Dr. Anderson books for about 5 or 6 years in our book club. We do this every Wednesday night. If you want to join us, just get on the list for the morning class, and then I'll invite you to the weekly Powernomics training. Text the word morning to the number 87948 on your phone. Text morning to 87948, or go to drboyceelevate.com. We've been studying this man, and I talked to him yesterday, and I can tell you that the entire time, all he kept talking about is black folks. All he kept talking about is our future. He talked about our past. He talked about a little bit about the stuff with Trump. I can't share everything he talked about because I didn't ask permission. But this is a Marcus Garvey of our time, man. And I really think as black people, we're listening to the wrong people. We need to listen to people that love us first. We need to listen to people that are going to empower us. We need to listen to the people that know what the hell's going on. We need to listen to older black folks who lived before integration, so they can tell us what the world looked like when we owned assets. They can tell us what the world looked like when we had families. They can tell us what the world looked like when we were actually building instead of begging and borrowing. Do you understand? So this is why people like Dr. Anderson are treasures. Some of y'all are in that OG status, and I think that your words of wisdom are very important, because sometimes to move forward, you got to go back to the past, right? To get to the finish line properly, you got to start at the beginning. And if you go back to what our ancestors were able to do, that really, in my opinion, solves a lot of the problems that we have right now. So discipline and intelligence and commitment and really taking ownership of the things that are yours, I think goes a long way. Now, with that said, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Dr. Anderson's website is powernomics.com. If you want to get a copy of my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, feel free to go to drboycebooks.com. We also have financial flashcards and workbooks. If you want to educate your kids on economics, feel free to do that. And also, I want to acknowledge one place that I'm going to go in Atlanta. I'm getting an award from this organization called Auntie Angie's House. And I don't consider myself to be worthy of an award, but I guess I guess they're awarding me. I've been a supporter of what they do. And let me tell you about Auntie Angie's House. What they do that I really love is they truly believe that Black Lives Matter. And what Auntie Angie's House does is, if you know Angela Stanton King, she's controversial, right? She happens to be, a Republican, but I don't care about that. I didn't vote Democrat or Republican. But what I like about Auntie Angie's House is that she doesn't just say that Black Lives Matter. She actually proves it. She's very much a believer that we should let our children live. That aborting or terminating Black babies is a form of racism. Now, again, I'm not judging anybody's decision. I know people make different choices, so I'm probably more pro-choice than anything. But I want to make the choice into a good choice, right? And so what she does is she actually goes and helps to it like creates a space where mothers can raise their kids. And I just think that that's really awesome. I love that. And so I make monthly donations to Auntie Angie's House. I want to donate more. I'm telling you all about it because I'm hoping you'll go to auntieangieshouse.com. Let me make sure I got the URL right. And maybe if you agree on this, maybe you can provide some support. Again, you don't have to be pro-life or pro-choice to agree that we should be pro-children, right? I don't think you have to be Democrat or Republican to agree that Black babies matter. I don't think that you have to care about your political affiliation in order to agree. I hope we can all agree that we want our children to have the best opportunity available. And if you want to know why I'm a little biased on that, it's because my mother was 16 when she got pregnant with me. And they told, everybody told her, look, if you just get rid of this baby, your life will be much easier. You ain't got no money. And I'm gonna tell you, as a guy who understands money very well, I'm a finance professor. That's what I do. I think it's just kind of crazy that we would literally think that money matches the value of human life. I don't think that. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you do it for your own reasons, that makes sense. But to do it because you have $200 in your bank account instead of $2,000, that is a little weird to me because we could talk about how you can get $2,000. Poverty is not a permanent condition, but terminating your child, that's pretty permanent, right? If my mama had chosen to go down to that clinic and got rid of me, that would have been permanent. I wouldn't be talking to you 50 years later. So, so really, because my mother had the courage, she gave me to God at the altar. That was my story. She gave me to God because she said, I can't take care of this baby. God, I'm giving this baby to you. And she said, God whispered to her, you have to have this child. That's what she said. She said, I did not say that about my other children, but I said it about you. God told me I had to have you because it was something important that you were supposed to do. I don't know what that is exactly, but maybe I'm doing it now. I have no idea. But I do know that I was with my mother up until her last day on this planet. And I took good care of her until her last day. We paid off her house. We did, and I think I was an asset to her. Do you understand? So here's the thing. This is where racism kicks in terms of your thinking, in my opinion. I think that what they do, when white folks are really being extra white and extra racist, and I don't hate all white people. I ain't got time to hate nobody, but y'all know what y'all do. I think the world convinces you that sometimes that your greatest assets are your liabilities. And then they convince you that your greatest liabilities are actually assets. I want you to think about that for a minute. My boys over at Earn Your Leisure, they have a great t-shirt that says assets over liabilities. And now that I'm even processing this out loud with you, I don't know if we understand the difference between an asset and a liability. I really don't. I really don't know if we as a community know what our greatest assets are. It's almost reminds me of how Janet Jackson, tell me if you heard that story where Janet Jackson talked about how she would go to dance class and they would tell her your butt's too big. So she saw her butt as a liability when we know that Janet Jackson has lots of assets, right? Right? Your big, beautiful lips is not a liability. It's an asset. It's only a liability if you're trying to be white. It's only a liability if you're trying to be something that God did not intend for you to be. Do you see? So your children, you're thinking, oh my God, I got this baby. The baby's going to cost money. It's going to be expenses. I can't afford this. You see the baby as a liability. And then somebody comes along and says, well, yeah, that's why you should terminate the baby because the baby's a liability and that liability is going to be hard for you. But I'm going to tell you like this, you can't convince me or nobody in my family in a million years that I wasn't nothing but an asset to my mama. I showed up for my mama every single opportunity I could. Mama, you want to fly first class? I got you. Mama, you want a new car? Oh, let me go buy that with cash. Mama, oh, you want to pay off the house? Let me do that for you. And I did that not just because I love her, but as a thank you. Thank you for having the courage to invest in me, and because I'm going to pay you dividends all the way up until your last days on this earth. That's what I'm going to do. So you got to understand, I really think that as Black people, we got to stop listening to other people tell us who we are. And you need to learn who the hell you are. They tell you that something is a negative when really it's a positive. And then we got people out here that we think are assets, but that they're really liabilities. For many years, Diddy was put on the covers of magazines as an example of Black excellence. He's an asset to your community. This man's up here raping people, but you think it's okay because he made a bunch of money doing it. No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to, I know that's controversial, but come on now. You get some artist, some hip hop artist that's promoting literally a blueprint of Black male self-destruction, literally promoting drug addiction, the abuse of women, wasting all of his money, complete ignorance, alcoholism, and all these things that are destroying Black families. And you'll literally be honoring these people. You literally will be like, oh my God, he's so successful. What's successful about a man who is destroying his life in public? What's successful about a man who tells you that he don't care nothing about the Black community, the Black family, or nothing? What's successful about a man who's wasting his money and teaching young boys to do the same? That's a liability, man. Your behavior is contradicting the behavior of every decent, intelligent Black man in this country who's trying to teach young boys how to do the right thing. The same thing on the women's side. Some lady teaching Black girls how to twerk when they 5 years old, and you think that that's Black excellence. Ain't nothing excellent about a 5-year-old shaking ass. I don't want her shaking ass. I want her shaking a laptop. I want her in science class. I don't want her to learn how to twerk before she can read. But they trick you. We will worship any Negro that they put on TV and be like, oh my God, I'm so inspired by you. There's nothing inspiring about any of that. It's destruction. It's just dressed up. They just put perfume on a pig, and you think it's Miss America. That's what they did. So anyway, let me keep going. So let's circle back. See, this is what I do. Sometimes there's stuff that needs to be said. And see, for those of y'all that make fun of me for being a heathen, I'm gonna say that I truly believe deep down in my soul that God tells me what to say because I listen to God every day. And when he tells me to say it, I say it. I don't worry about the consequences. So that's what it is. All right. So anyway, if y'all can do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And again, if you want to get our financial flashcards and workbooks for kids, you can go to drboycebooks.com. Or you can also if you're interested in youth programs and stuff like that, you can text the word youth to the number 87948. So text youth to 87948. All right. So let me share something else with you that I thought was interesting. If you want to know, so we were talking about Marvin Sapp earlier, and I think let me just wrap that part of the conversation up, and then I want to give you a little bit of information about what's happening in the financial world, because I really want to put money in your pocket. I want you to know what's happening with the stock market. I want you to know what's happening in terms of all the opportunities that are being created with all of this craziness that's kind of happening right now with Trump and everything. And I encourage you to not be distracted by the noise. I want you to focus on the opportunity that exists here. So here are a few things you should know, particularly as markets are about to open in a few minutes. Number one, the stock market's been getting hit pretty hard because these tariffs that are about to be announced, I guess tomorrow. Today's the 1st, so it'll be announced on the 2nd. And the mood of the financial markets is pretty negative. Also, there's some other stuff going on in terms of just global stock markets. So basically, the capitalization of global markets have actually declined significantly. And then on top of that, gold prices are starting to go up. Gold. My father reached out to me yesterday and asked me, do I think gold is a good investment? And I said, gold is the type of asset you buy that will keep you rich, but gold will not typically make you rich. So gold will not grow as fast as other assets. In fact, I'll try to put it on the screen so we can kind of see the price of gold over time. Gold doesn't grow as fast as other assets in the stock market, but what gold does is it allows you to protect what you have. It allows you to protect the investments that you've made. And so right now people are buying gold. That's my point. People are buying gold because they are fearful. People tend to buy gold when there is uncertainty. And right now, and I'm gonna have to put this on Trump. He has created a lot of uncertainty, and even if you're a Republican or Democrat or whatever, you got to agree with this because what this guy's doing with the tariffs isn't just bad for economic policy. It's also bad in terms of inflation. It's bad in terms of just disrupting the global economic order of things. And I'm not saying that that's something that you can't ever do. I just don't think it's being executed with the precision that it needs to be executed. It's been done a little bit sloppy. So here is the price of gold over time. You see, if you've owned gold this year, you've done well. You made 18%. It's gone up 9% this month. It's gone up about 3.5% this week. It's gone up today. If you go back a year, you made 40% on your gold. 5 years, 92%. But that 92% is not, which isn't bad, right? So 5 years of gold investment means you doubled your money. But there are plenty of other places you could put your money that would do far better than gold. So again, I'm not saying don't buy it. I would say that if you are worried though about what's happening right now, gold investment might be a good idea. Now, if you're trying to invest in gold, I told my dad, I said, you don't have to buy gold bars at Costco. There is an ETF, an exchange traded fund with the ticker symbol GLD. GLD, just take out the O and GLD, and that will track the price of gold. That'll give you exposure to gold. The other thing too is remember, one asset does not make a whole portfolio. You want to mix it up, spread it out, all that stuff. So if you want to ask me questions and talk more about stocks and what's going on, if that's your thing, really the stock market is the number one wealth builder in America. That's why you want to be in the stock market. This is where rich people live. Feel free to join us. We have a stock market investors club. We're going to meet this afternoon. You can go to drboystockmarket.com. Every Tuesday, we do Stock Market Tuesdays. Students ask me questions. You can tell me about the stocks that you're interested in. I can give you my feedback. Also, I'll tell you the stocks that I'm buying as well. So if you want to do a free trial, go to drboystockmarket.com. Okay, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. God bless you. And in conclusion with Marvin Sapp, I don't think that what happened here necessarily makes him a bad guy. What I really would almost say, I would almost suggest to him that I always wondered about this, and maybe some of you who are deep in the church can help me figure this out. I always wondered why churches don't sort of evolve their economic models a little bit anyway. If you're talking about trying to raise $20 per person, and you got all these people watching online, why does it have to be 100% charity? Why does it have to just be give me money and I'm going to give you something psychological or verbal or whatever? I'm going to give you symbolism or whatever. Why can't you sell a product? Why can't we have, I don't know, if we all rep in our church, why don't we have t-shirts that everybody can buy for $20, $25? Because I'll tell you, it's harder to get somebody to give you $5 than it is to get them to buy something worth $50. And what you're doing is you're creating a reciprocal economic system. You're giving them value for value. They're getting something of substance back. They're not just, charity is a decent model to some extent, but it drains people. When you're just constantly giving, and you're getting nothing back, then that's not necessarily a fair trade. But I think the church, again, because the church is a great hub, it has been a place of education. You can have classes that people can sign up for, and pay a small fee, right? It's a place where you can do commerce. I think every church in America should get together and have an economic committee that actually works on developing economic systems within that church. If you have a church like that and you want to connect with the Black Business School, I'd be happy to help you. We got 200,000 students around the world, and we're building an HBCU, and I think we're the best on earth when it comes to Black wealth. We are the Black wealth surgeons. We're the only place on the planet that has a Black financial therapy department, because we've got the best Black therapists helping to dig into the psychological barriers, the mental blocks that keep us from building Black wealth. So we're solving problems. And when we did a survey with you guys, 78% of you said that you have more money in your pocket because you're affiliated with the Black Business School. We take data. We ask you guys what you think and get data and do data analysis. In fact, right now, my wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins, is doing, to our knowledge, the only original research anywhere on Black financial psychology. Right? A lot of you participating in that survey. She's analyzing the data right now. We're really understanding the connection between childhood trauma and economic outcomes. Now, to us, this is like 1 + 1 is 2. But what should really concern you is the fact that this has never really been pursued on a major level. And so one of the reasons that problems don't get solved is because you don't even have think tanks even thinking about you. You have think tanks thinking about white people. You have think tanks protecting gay people. You have think tanks that are protecting, trans people and immigrants. But there's nothing. What's protecting you? What's there for you? What institutions do you have in America that are 100% Black first, that are also funded well enough to really do the job that they're supposed to do? So my thing is, at the end of the day, I want to see your life better. If anybody ever wonders, if they say that guy Boyce Watkins, he seems controversial, what does he believe? Just make it real simple. I want you to have better mental and physical health, because everybody talks about Black Lives Matter. And they'd say, well, Black Lives Matter because so many of our Black men are being killed by the police. Has anybody ever looked at the list of the top 10 causes of death for Black people? How many of you ever? I just want to add, this is important. This is a question I got to ask. How many of you have ever sat down and really looked to see, like, how are Black people actually dying? I'm gonna pull the list up. Stay here. You're gonna like this. Hit the thumbs up button while you do it, please, if you could. And also, don't forget, this podcast is on Spotify, so you can look me up on Spotify. The top 10 causes of death of Black people, and I want you to tell me which number police shootings appears on this list. Okay, I want you to, not that police shootings don't happen. I'm not one of those Negroes, but I need y'all to tell me which one was police shootings. Okay, so let's see. Okay, all right. Top 10 causes of death amongst Black people, according to the Centers for Disease Control. Damn, Boyce, you lost the link. Oh no, yeah. Be patient with me. Here we go. Number 1, heart disease. And then put a yes in the chat if you know any Black person who has died or suffered from any of these issues. Number 1, heart disease. Give me a yes if you know somebody who went down from heart disease. Number 2, cancer. Anybody know a Black person who has cancer or died of cancer? What do you think? Give me a yes in the chat. Say their name, actually. Let's bring the ancestors into the room so they can give us some wisdom and protection that we need. Because when you start being Black and intelligent and start asking the hard questions, that's when you're going to get attacked by racist white folks and backward Negroes. So we need protection. Number 3, stroke. Anybody in your family that's died from a stroke or had a stroke? Number 4, diabetes. Anybody got the sugar? Anybody know somebody in your family that got the sugar? That's number 4 on the list. I'm still looking for the police shootings to pop up. I need to, because obviously that's what's killing all of us. Number 5, unintentional injuries or accidents. Anybody know somebody who died in a car accident, something like that? Heart goes out to them. Say their name in the chat too. Let's bring them back. I see Victor Hill. Okay. My father, cousins, grandma. Yeah, my mama just died from cancer. Euless and Lawanda. All right, I see that. Homicide. Anybody know a Black woman that ever got shot? Do Black people ever get shot? Or is that just a figment of my imagination? Greg Wilkins, that my homeboy, best friend, shot in the head in front of his daughter, and it wasn't a cop that did it. It was another Black man. Kidney disease. Anybody know Black folks got bad kidneys? Chronic lower respiratory diseases. That's broad, but okay. Septicemia, a blood infection. Oh, and then this is the big one: hypertension, high blood pressure related diseases. Anybody know a Black person that's got high blood pressure in a racist society that's designed to kill you? Anybody stressed? So which one? I'm trying to remember. I'm 53. I forget stuff, so I need y'all's help. Which one was police shootings? Was that number 3? No, that wasn't number 3. That was diabetes. Was it number 8? No, that wasn't number 8. Number 8 was chronic lower respiratory diseases. I know it was number 5. It had to be number, because they talked about it so much. It had to be number in the top 5. Oh no, unintentional injuries and homicide. Damn. So if Black Lives Matter, I just need y'all to really mean it. Like, if we're going to say it, we should probably mean it. I know that that's a lot for us to mean what we say and say what we mean and then follow through on what we say we're going to do. but I think that that's going to be a requirement if we're ever going to really get what we want out of life. You know, um, I know sometimes we're allergic to accountability. We're allergic to, actually doing things, but I personally think that maybe that's a solution that we can consider. So anyway, if people ask you, well, what does Boyce believe? He believes that Black people should have better mental and physical health. There are tons of experts and therapists that can help you with your mental health. I don't know why we try to wing it. Number two, Boyce believes that Black people should have healthy relationships because relationships are key to wealth. All these things link back to wealth. Wealth. They're all connected. They're all connected. So people with healthier relationships have better wealth. They're married longer. They get along with their kids. So you start businesses together. You have good friends. You're a good person. You know how to resolve conflicts. Wealth is built in those types of environments. You have to create what I refer to in my book as fertile economic soil. Fertile economic soil is space where there's love and support and health. Right? It's a space where things are allowed to live. Things thrive. It's not a space where things are just sent to die. And some of you, unfortunately, were born in the middle of a death zone, and you're trying to create life in the middle of a death zone. You cannot grow flowers in the desert. You cannot grow vegetables in Antarctica. Right? So you can't grow fruits and vegetables on Mars. So some of y'all were born in these crazy environments, and then you wonder why nothing grows, everything dies. Well, because the essential ingredients for life and fertility don't exist there. So financial fertility is a very real thing. I explain it a lot in my book, and I encourage you to really think about that. Last piece, what else does Boyce believe? Boyce believes Black folks should have financial security, that we should have financial security and we should have income. Why is that important? Well, because a lot of you have to get up and go to work for your oppressor every day, and that sucks. I mean, think about this. This is something I talked to Dr. Claude Anderson about last night. We talked about this last night. I said, isn't it funny that every Black child damn near grows up being groomed and prepared and with the expectation that they're going to go work for a white man one day? Most of us go, give me a guess if that was how you were raised. We're all sort of expected. Like you ever hear people when they would say going to HBCUs is unrealistic because you're going to have to go work with white people one day. You have to, right? Like you have to go work for a white man. But I said, isn't it interesting though that I don't know a single white man who was raised to believe that he one day was going to have to go work for a Black man. That's never happened. So here's the thing, and Dr. Anderson brought this up last night, which made me think about it more, is he said, you're the only group that has to constantly leave your community to feed yourself. You're the only group of people. My camera went out again. I'm going to get to the bottom of this, but y'all can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me okay. Eventually, it'll come back on. So I'll keep working on it. Oh, look at that. See, and then it did it again. It went to the other camera. So hey, what's up, y'all? All right. So Dr. Anderson, he brought that up. He said, you're the only group of people that's got to leave your community every day in order for you to feed yourself. So you are like a basketball team that's constantly playing on another team's court. Every game for you is an away game. Does anybody know sports? Any other sports fans in here? What happens when they measure teams' records and they look at their home games and their away games? Which ones do they win the most? Where are they most likely to win? On their home court or when they're the visitor on somebody else's court? What do you think? Answer in the chat. You're gonna win on your home court. If you're playing a bunch of away games, your record in many cases will be a losing record. So if you ever want to figure out like, well, why does it seem like Black folks just be losing? Because you don't play on your home court. You don't prepare. You got to build a stadium. You got to come up with a plan. You can't just be like, oh, we're gonna just play 50 straight away games and try to have a winning record. That's crazy. And then when you do, I mean, sometimes we still have a winning record. That's how exceptional we are. Some of us can still win even when we've been playing all these away games, but I don't want our kids to play away games. I want our kids to play in their own stadium. I want them playing in their own house. That's what I want. And that's doable. We just got to make a plan. Okay. All right. So I got to go to get ready actually for our class, our Money in the Morning class. If you want to join us, just text the word morning to 87948. So if you text morning to 87948, you will get a notification from me in just a few minutes to join us in class. Or if you live overseas, you can go to drboyceelevate.com. So feel free to do that. And also, because I mentioned Dr. Anderson, I want to mention his website. It's powernomics.com. So I think all of our kids should read Dr. Anderson books. And sorry about the weirdness with the cameras and stuff. I'll deal with that later. But I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you benefited from this discussion. And again, with Marvin Sapp, no hard feelings. I wasn't here to bash this brother. I think he learned from his mistake. And I also think churches, I'm hoping that more churches will learn their true economic power, because I believe that if we had it's just as much commitment to the gospel of economic intelligence as we have to some of the other things that we might do when we go to church, because this is a spiritual exercise. I think we would be one of the most powerful groups of people on the planet. Jewish people showed this with what they do with their synagogues. They're no better than us. So anyway, God bless you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Sorry about the camera switch, but I'm going to wave to you over here, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.